Hello, this is Mingy, and this is my third progress report for my capstone project. For this part, I did mostly catch up, where I added the player health and death, placed item blocks, implement items. I also deployed the initial progress to the hosting platform. It's not complete, but it is working on the hosting platform. I did playtest the game, see if it works the same as it is working in Unity. I placed down the tokens. I was not able to add in-game timer, or because of that I was not able to track the time. But I was able to create multiple stages, but I haven't gone into populating it yet with traps and enemies. The shop menu and the player's skin and everything, that has to be done through the database, which I have to still connect to my main game that is being published. But besides that, laying down traps, creating boss, creating enemy interaction, all that has been finished. So let's get into the actual gameplay. Alright, so here we have the Unity version of the game. I'm just going to quickly show you the map looks the same as the one that's published on the web. I'm just going to show you the map, and let's just hop right back to the actual demo on the website. So here we have the live published demo version of my capstone project on itch.io. This is where Unity projects can be hosted on the website for free. And as you can see, I added these side walking motion, and when the character is standing idle, it's facing backwards. If it's walking left, it's facing left. It's walking right, it's facing right. And there's these tokens around the map that you can gather. If you get close to it, you'll actually gain the token, and that will increment the number of score inside of your database. There are these enemies around the map which you can avoid by jumping up and avoiding them, but if you do collide with them, you'll lose your life and it will reset that stage. If you do correctly hop on top of them, you'll actually be able to kill these units. There we go. And there are also these traps laid around the map, and these ones, it doesn't matter if you're hopping on top or you're gliding, it will also just kill you immediately and reset the stage. And you have 3 lives total per stage, and it'll go back to the very first stage of that world. And there are 3 stages in each world, so keep that in mind. But this is the first stage in this world, so obviously even if I die 3 times, it's just gonna come back to this stage. We're just gonna get rid of this guy just to show you how these item blocks work. And these item blocks, you can't actually get them by stepping on them. You would actually have to go underneath and hit them from the bottom, and you'll be gain some kind of an ability. And this one gives you a faster movement speed. And after a certain amount of time, that effect runs out, but you can go back and achieve that ability once again. If you want to get it back, you can just go back and hit it again. I think I'm going to add a cooldown to this item block, so you can't just permanently use this ability. Maybe grayed out when it's on a cooldown, and you'll go to the next stage by entering this portal. Alright, so I'm not going to go over the codes in depth because that's going to cover way too much material. I'm just going to generally explain what each of these scripts are supposed to do. So first we have the game manager that takes care of all the instances. So that means it takes care of which world and which stage the player is currently in. How many lives does he have left in that stage? So when the game starts, it will start a new game, and in that new game, it loads the very first scene, which is 1-1, and the life you have is 3. When the load level is loaded, this is basically just loading that scene. And here we have the 1-1, that's how I've named them. 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4 is a boss stage, and when it goes to the next world, it will be 2-1, etc. this is basically going to that next level where if it's at stage 4, which is after the boss stage, it will just go to the next world. Here's the reset level. If your character happen to die, then it will reset the level and you lose a life. And if you lose all your life, the game is over and a brand new game is started. Here we have the player sprite render, and this is basically just the animation factor. If the player is standing on the ground, it's just going to show the idle motion, which is right here. If the player is jumping, it's going to show the jumping motion. If it's falling, it's going to show the falling motion. Same with walking, etc. And this is my entity movement, meaning that this can be applied to any type of enemy. So I can add any enemy and add this physics to it, and they will move as it is. The only thing that has to change are these boundaries, because they're not going to be positioned exactly the same around the map. They might be farther down the map. Some of them might be earlier on the map. And this just determines the horizontal movement, and basically when they hit the boundary that they are supposed to be staying around, they'll just turn around in the other direction and walk in that direction. Their speed doesn't change. Depending on type of monsters, the speed might change, but once it's set, they don't really change after that. Here is the collision factor, where if you're colliding with the player, it's going to hurt the player if it's not stomping. Instead, if it's just hitting on the side, it will actually kill the player instead of killing the monster. In the stomp detector, this is where the game detects if the player is jumping on top of the monster. And if it's determined that yes, it is in fact players in fact in the air and jumping in the jumping motion, and the stomp detector detects the monster beneath it, it will bounce the player up, and it will display the killing animation, and it will disable the monster that it just stomped on. The player death is very simple. It's just what happens after the player dies. It's just going to reset using the game manager. It's going to reset the stage. This is the token. I have to add the database part to it, but right now it just gets destroyed when it gets contacted by a player. Same with the traps. You can't really avoid it. Even if you stomp on it, you'll still die. So any kind of collision will destroy the player. Player head bump. This is just to this is basically the item collection. So if the player jumps up in the air and hits the block with this head, then it will trigger this, and it will give him a certain ability. And this will later down the line change. Depending on which item block that you use. It could give you a jump height or enemy slow duration, etc. Alright, so that's everything. Thank you.